Well, and if you use the C4000 hardware to visualize things, of course you also need a software. In the old days, it was not TwinCAT HMI, it was another HMI tool. Today, it's TwinCAT HMI. And I'm really happy and delighted to invite Eric this morning. Good morning,
Hi, good
Eric.
morning.
Because you are a fellow in our company who had a lot of experience with SPS as well as HMI programming, because you were
correct.
in our system engineering group.
Hmm?
You moved to the TwinCAT product management a few years ago.
Yeah,
I think now your
that's right.
expertise is still TwinCAT HMI, and you told me that there are a couple of new things happening in the TwinCAT HMI, and the first thing is, how do I access my data? So how can I get data from my control into the HMI?
So there we start directly with our default connectivity. So in this case, we talk about ADS. So the main topic is that we can read information from other TwinCAT products. So maybe from the PLC, it's ADS. The HMI server has a direct connection and can read and write such infos from other devices.
I think this is a lot of customers maybe even don't know, because they use TwinCAT and they got the data that ADS is basically our internal protocol to collect data.
Correct.
Now, what about these guys who are not using TwinCAT? How can they access data?
Yeah, for this customer, we have also the extension for our server side that they can integrate OPC UA. And then we can also communicate with third-party controllers. And this is a very easy way to integrate also third-party controllers.
Not my preferred way, to be honest, because I would love to have, of course, the Beckhoff controller. But to face it, in the real world, there are maybe reasons for other controllers. Then customers can still use our HMI as well as our hardware. Okay. And now you came up with a third option. So what other possibility do you have?
The new option, so it's completely new. We have released it at the beginning of this month. It's a database extension. So this is a new extension for the TwinCAT HMI server to communicate directly with the database. So we can read and write data direct from a database. There we talk in the first release about a Postgres, a MariaDB database, and also SQLite. These are our first database where we can connect the HMI server to.
I think this is a clear sign for the importance and the success of TwinCAT HMI, because there were customers requesting other data access points, and you realized this. Excellent.
Yeah.
Now, especially these days, but also actually a few years ago, another buzzword is always the security thing. So how can I secure my application? How can I make sure that data are correct and not used in the wrong way, whatever, or manipulated? And I was also told that you have a new way to offer more security into the system. So what is this all about?
Yeah, so there we have a normal user management directly integrated in our HMI. This is our standard. But now we have also added a new extension for it. So I think each person now, every morning, he has to log in on his work station, or then he has also to log in some applications. And this is need a lot of time to.
We have this even on our own laptops, right? You got one password, second password, third password.
Correct.
Yes.
So all the time you have to make authentication.
Yes.
And this is what we have changed. So the HMI server has also an extension that we can directly use it over single sign-on. And it means that we use the protocol in the background OAuth. And this is a way where we can use a separate authentication service and bring the user directly to the HMI. So we can directly make a login on the HMI side with the normal user from the workstation.
So I can see right away that you have expertise in really using the HMI, and you brought this into the product management team to optimize processes.
Yeah.
Now let's take one final basic look into the system, because once we set up an HMI, I think it's also about speed. So how fast can I realize my HMI? And I think there's a new method available to optimize and to faster generate the HMI.
Correct. At the beginning, where I started with the HMI also at Beckhoff, there was only a blank project. So you start completely with an empty project, and this need a lot of time to create a new visualization. What we have added to the TwinCAT HMI project is a small wizard to start with the default configuration. In this case, we can directly see we have a header, we have a navigation also on each HMI, and this is something what you can directly configure over the wizard. But this is only the first step. There we're talking about the starting of the project.
Yeah.
Then later, each machine has machine parameters. So these are parameters to configure it later on the machine side in the maintenance or something else, when something is broken, any position is changed, then the operator or maybe the maintenance has to change some values. And for this case, we have also integrated the new system engineering. The system engineering is an easy way to mark PLC variables. There we have attributes. We have only to add this on the PLC side, and then the HMI can directly read this information and create this small control with all the information about the symbols.
Okay, so speed matters not only on cycle time, but also on generation time of the HMI.
Yeah, correct.
And then last but not least, I think we have a nice showcase for what we call the responsive design.
Yeah.
Because you told me that it's very easy to take one overview or one HMI into different kind of hardware units, right?
Yeah, and there we talk about the responsive design. So normally the web technology has integrated that because we have no fixed resolution. So this was in old machines. We have panels with a fixed resolution, then you have created some HMI directly for that. And now we say, okay, we have a big panel or we have also a small tablet or another device, and we want not to create for each device an own site. And this is why we talk about the responsive web design, and we can directly switch from one application to another one, and we see here the same site, but here we have it directly on one page, and here we have a small scroll bar, and there we see, okay, we have shifted completely the orientation of this controls. For this, we have two new controls. We talk about the grid container and the flex container. They will be released in 1 or 2 months, and there it's much easier for our customer to realize such a case.
Perfect. This is a very good handover for my next topic. So many thanks for the insight, Eric. Have a great show.